I've just come out to Scenic Rim for Real Milk with Greggy, and we've been chatting with a bunch of farmers. And your name again? Peter Hall is he has an organisation called Fodder Solutions. And so Fodder Solutions is helping farmers with the primary input to their cattle.
Fodder Solutions is a way of growing grass in a paddock. Instead, grow it in a shed. It takes away the weather, and it's been proven around the world now in universities everywhere. It's one of the healthiest foods everywhere. It's a small company from Toowoomba that just can't keep up with the pace and growth. With them, we've been introduced with Green Cows, who are a social group of blokes, businessmen that are wanting to help these farmers. We can put fodder with them, they can provide capital, we can save farmers. And someone else want to tell me why we shouldn't be saving farmers?
And look, I've had an experience in going and filming a chap called Ian Burrow, who's a farmer in Mount Cotton.
Yes.
And he feeds one of his cows the product that I think was the test unit that you had. So what is the product?
It's barley seed sprouted into grass. It's been around for decades, hundreds of years. It's actually, we fed our horses in World War I with buckets of barley and wheat that was watered and sprouted.
And it's the most nutritious point because it's just starting to grow. Yes. It's full of life, and
it's full of life. And the science and the studies done in universities now for us in America, South Africa, here in Australia, and our own non-stop replies from farmers is, it's the best product they've ever seen, and it's saving animals. It's putting on weight for animals. It's keeping them healthy. Like, I love what they did with the 100, 200 trucks going out west the other day. But as I said 12 months ago to a politician who remained nameless, instead of putting all that money in one hit that'll keep them going for 6 months, why don't you subsidise an Australian company that can put a machine out that'll save all those animals forever and a day?
So helping Advance Australia Fair is about helping Australian farmers, and organisations like yours, Peter, is a... tell us the name of the business.
Green Cow Ventures.
Okay.
And we do have a social business thing. We are helping farmers. That's a big focus of what we're doing. We are very passionate about making a stand for farmers, but we're doing it in a very practical way because farmers don't need or want charity. They want to have a business that's a solid business, that's economically viable, socially viable, and ecologically sound, all of that, and they want to have they want their children to go to school and they want to get reacquainted with eating, some of them, because some of them are under bloody, aren't eating regularly at the moment. So if we can introduce a business on their farm, now the way we're using it, it's not the only way, we're using the fodder system. We believe it's the best system for feeding the cattle. It puts on weight every day. We're not dependent on the weather. We can feed the cattle regardless. Now people eat every day, so we can ongoingly sell the cattle every day, or not every day, but every month, What that means is that each business becomes viable. It becomes viable for our investor partners, because the reality of the investor world is there's lots of people. How I started my own investing path, I looked at my paltry little bloody amount that I had in super, because I've got a history of being in businesses of my own, and you never put money aside. you always need money today. I looked at the paltry amount I had in super and I went, I earned 4% last year and they charged me 7% to do that.
Yeah.
I lost money. This isn't good.
And so the way you're working with Green Cow is to actually help farmers, get them some support through local people who can invest and help with the farmer.
Well, this is the second time he's brought up a good point in the last week for me. Super. How many people realise from the city who work on a daily job, weekly pay, yearly taxes, that the farmers don't have super? So when a farmer gets to 60 and 65, and he's been in 30 years of drought, every 5 to 7 years as a period, all he's got left is his farm that some big conglomeration, albeit a bank, want to take off him and leave him with nothing. We got an opportunity to put business plans in place from where they can see a future, and for me, as most of us are ex-bushies, the kids can see a future coming through. I put it to some city people this way, the only way I could get them to understand. There's a small shopping centre on the corner that the local person knows. A big conglomeration comes in and buys it and says to the coffee shop, we'd like you to stay. But for the next 2 years, we're going to rip the place down, build a massive shopping centre, and then when it's all over, we want you to come back. Now, he's just had 2 years of drought. Picture that, drought, nothing. Then he's asked to come back, and he needs $500,000 to start off again. This is where our farmers are. They've got no capital left. They're up to here in debt, but they've got the land, they've got the nous. If we can give them capital and reinvest back in our country, $2 trillion of super funds, put it back into our country.
So what we've been talking about is how farmers can be supported by mums and dads, particularly with your investment, and there are ways that this can happen. We've also been talking about cooperatives and the way that we can get the ethics back into how people in the cities can help farmers out in the country.
Yeah, they're not going to be invested in a company just to see a return. They're going to be an actual shareholder of a group of farms. There'll be conglomerations set up. Our first one's the Darling Downs Venture One. It's got 5 to 8 farms in it. They will know which farm their money's going into.
Okay.
They will know what share they got in that business plan that's on that farm.
Okay.
It's not at the end of the year, like Peter mentioned, oh, last year we had a bad run, sorry, we're only paying you 4%. You're going to know all year round.
So how can people find out about your business, Peter?
Fodder Solutions Australia, they're a Toowoomba-based company.
And who's going to be interested in that, the farmers or the general community?
We've got a lot of farmers now. We're having trouble keeping up with it. We're getting
Okay.
capital reinvested into the farm to try and take it to another level.
Okay.
But for the farmers who can't even afford a fodder machine, Green Cow together
We
with
become
fodder,
a venture partner with them.
Okay.
So we buy the fodder machine.
Yep.
and the cattle.
We put a contract for the farmer to run the machine, which
Yep.
takes him about 3 hours a day, so he's still got time to do other things on his farm.
Yep.
We
And you want members of our broader metropolitan community to put some funding towards helping
Absolutely.
farmers with
Yep.
this system and
You're going to know which farm it is. You're going to know which farms, as in a group identity co-op, it's going to be. They're going to know the area.
So it's reconnecting the city with the village, with the country,
Yeah.
and actually reminding us all that we're all part of the same village.
Every household needs a farmer was the big slogan there a couple of years ago. We're saying every household should invest in a farm. Because our governments aren't, or our big conglomerations aren't, let's get in behind it.
And if a business just take the farm out of the question. If a business is managed to survive through an economic depression,
Yep.
and so they've survived and they're still there, if that business has capital introduced, now not just financial capital, human capital as in better management
Yeah,
skills.
you can give the farmers a bit of a break, help
break.
them with their management style and processes and stuff.
And in the background we can market the product better. I'm
Yep.
from a marketing background.
Yep.
So our model is a partnership model with the farmers. The farmers get to survive and then prosper.
Right.
And if they prosper, the country prospers.
Yep.
And as they are prospering, our investors prosper with them.
Great.
It's
The
that simple.
farmer at the moment has had the last 10 years, anywhere in Australia, between 5 and 7 years of bad drought time. Over 50 years, that's multiplied 3 and 4 times.
Yep.
Each decade. Farmers up to here in debt. And yet the market's changing and the world wants our agriculture. Who was giving them money? They can't go and borrow, they're already up to here. All that happens is the big bank says, boom, see you later, bring in another big group. No,
And
keep
the
our
banks
farmers
to
on the farm.
farmers, you know, I'll quote Mark Twain again. The bank on a sunny day will loan you an umbrella. The minute a cloud comes across the horizon, they want the bloody thing back with interest.
Okay, so we've got to work together
So
to make a difference and
we're,
help.
we're not looking at the farmers from a short-term thing going, it's a shitty day today. We're looking at the farmers going, we want you to be prospering in 100 years. So, and whether that's their grandchildren or whether whoever it is, each business, if it prospers, and it's very simple. There's a group of old ladies in America who invest in things, and they've made a fortune over the last 40 years. And what they invest in is they look at the products that they buy or their grandchildren buy, and they go, well, I like that product. My grandchild's playing with an apple. Oh, we will invest in that. Well, we're on a dairy farm. Most people drink milk every day. I have 5 or 6 cups of coffee in the morning just to bloody get started. Daniel has 100.
That's your problem, but we won't go down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we're investing. It's common sense. If you eat meat every month, and we're helping.
Participate in being part of it.
Yeah, put your money where your mouth is.
There you
Literally.
There you go. Anyway, fantastic. Thanks for
Cheers.
chatting,
Thanks
fellas.
very much.
Cheers. Bye.